Motubi joins us with Sports News. More and I watched that Cricket South Africa media briefing earlier this afternoon with some sense of relief. Do you think it's a clear way ahead now?
Sally, it should be. At least we're hoping. We've proven to be a very optimistic nation, even in the midst of a lot of chaos. But Cricket South Africa is charting a new governance future now after the Sports Minister Nathi Mthethwa withdrew his ban of the organisation. The cricket governing body held a media briefing earlier to map the way forward. Its interim board and its members' council have finally reached an agreement on the adoption of the Memorandum of Incorporation. Our reporter, Hloni Mthethwa, has been following the story for us, not just today, but for just months on end. Hloni, good evening to you. So the MOI, there's been pen put to paper. Is there any chance of a twist or a U-turn?
Hopefully not. So they were very specific that on the 27th of April at 11 a.m. this amendment to the Memorandum of Incorporation was passed. So there shouldn't be any U-turns on this matter, even though we know that over the past 6 months or even more, there's been this back and forth between the Sports Minister and Cricket South Africa, and then with the interim board once they were appointed at the end of October. But the Members' Council, when they were speaking to this, because we know that at the Special General Meeting that failed a few weeks ago, they had not all voted to make these amendments to the MOI, but the representative of the Members' Council, the acting president of Cricket South Africa, Mr. Rihan Richards, said that it was a unanimous decision by all the affiliates. All 14 of them voted for these amendments to be made. That they wanted to return cricket to its former glory, that, ultimately, because they have been asked this question over and over again, that what's going on and what are they doing, that ultimately for them it is about returning cricket and doing things in the best interests of cricket. And, there were concerns earlier in the Sports Portfolio Committee meeting this morning that the Minister might have pressured CSA's Members' Council to act in a particular way. But this is what Rihan Richards had to say, that there was no pressure. It was the furthest from the truth. Let's hear what he has to say.
I want to make it very clear that this document is now as a result of consensus. A lot of the time people think that consensus is by, what is the correct word, by compromise. This document is not a compromise. It was a negotiated process to which all parties have committed.
Hloni, just quickly talk us through the main amendment to the MOI.
Okay, so there are 3 main amendments. The first one is, of course, there was that wrangling about the composition of the new board. So it will be a 15-member board. It will be majority independent. 8 of the directors will be independent. 5 will be non-independent, and 2 will be from the executive of CSA. So that will be the CEO, who is still to be appointed, and the CFO as well. Then the second main one is that the chairperson will be an independent chairperson as well, and that chairperson will come from the 8 independent directors that are going to be part of this new board. And the third amendment is around delineating the functions, or separating the functions of the board and the Members' Council, because there's been this confusion around this 2-tier structure. So those are the 3 main amendments. Essentially, they have been passed. The deadline is June the 12th, when at the latest, that's when the AGM should take place.
All right, Hloni, thank you very much. That is our reporter, Hloni Mthethwa. You can definitely expect that this story will continue, but hopefully it'll not be disastrous as we've seen it. Sally?